fellas. We are in Uwharrie Wilderness and getting ready to take off on the Robbins Branch Trailhead. Just finished raining actually just this morning, and they're calling for a chance of thunderstorms this evening. But then after that it's supposed to be clear and pretty, so hopefully we won't get too wet. It's a parking area, and from my understanding it's just a couple miles in to a fork in the trail, so we're going to try to make it down as far as we can and set up camp for the night. Okay. Alright, we come to the fork. This is supposedly just like a half-mile in the trail. We're going to attempt a loop to go down Hannah's Creek Trail, then hit Birkhead Mountain Trail, and then run north on that, northwest I guess it is, and then come back into Robbins Branch Trail, follow that back out to the truck. It's supposed to be about a 10-mile loop, so that's what we're going to attempt to do. See how far we get. What did you say your pack weighed?
25.8.
Oh, that's not bad. 25, right at 26 pounds. I actually didn't weigh mine. Didn't want to get disappointed. Tried to lighten it up from last time. It was 79 pounds last time, but that was a winter trip. So we had a lot of extra food, a lot of extra clothing, and everything that goes along with a winter camping trip. So this trip didn't have to bring as much stuff.
Yeah, I think we're half the weight that we did last time.
I would guess mine's around 45 or so. Still bringing a lot of unnecessary things. However, convenience items, trekking poles, tripod for the camera. I can't think of what else, but anyway, complete 4-man cook set, which we could have got by with 2, but I didn't want to break it apart. Pack's pretty good size, so I had room for it. It's just having to carry the weight. Pretty treacherous terrain. Like I said, just finished raining last night, and some of these trails are pretty well waterlogged. Right now it's not too bad. We're actually headed downhill, so it's running off pretty good, but in the flatter areas of the trail there's standing water, and we're actually better off just to get to the edge of the trail to keep your feet dry. I didn't bring an extra pair of shoes other than a pair of Crocs just for around the camp, just let my feet air out, but not really fond of wearing those long term, so trying our best to keep our feet as dry as we can. Probably still gonna have to dry our shoes out tonight. Maybe get a little fire going. Hopefully the rain will hold off. They're calling for thunderstorms this evening. Right now it's partly cloudy. Winds are blowing pretty good, so it could blow in some rain. I think the temperature's in the 70s right now, but the high is supposed to get to about 80. And then tonight, cool off with a cold front with these thunderstorms coming through. So hopefully we get to a good camp place and get everything set up before the rain hits, and then have the full day tomorrow to explore a little bit. There's another little spur. There's spurs all along this trail, by the way. This is the Hannah's. Is it Hannah Branch or Hannah's Creek? I call that a creek. All right, so much for keeping the feet dry, right? I don't know about you, but I'm pulling my boots off. Yeah, going to the other side and then dry off and put them back on. I mean, it's either that or get them soaked.
Well, there is a branch there, but I don't know. I don't see any better ways.
On the Hannah's Creek Trail, we come to this big rock formation. And one rock looks like it's sitting right on top of the other one there. Now, you know you're off the main trail. Yeah, okay.
Just walk up here a little bit and turn back around and go back on the main.
Sure, that's fine. Hey, stand there and let me get you up beside that big rock.
Yeah, kind of something taller than me, huh?
Finally, yeah. Cool. Alright. I already see that this Hannah's Creek Trail we like better. A lot more terrain changes and obstacles and such. Big rocks. Alright, you ready to get it?
That's weird, ain't it? It's
What you gonna do with
smooth.
that?
I don't know. Perfectly smooth though. Weird. Flat on one side.
It's been polished over the years with the water probably or something.
I reckon it chipped off of another rock.
Yeah, it looks like it. You gonna make a blade?
Okay. I don't think that make too great of a blade.
I don't know how durable. Let me see it.
Oh,
you already chunked it?
yeah.
Okay.
I'm fine with this one.
Thought you was gonna hang on to it. You don't like packing rocks?
No.
You add a little weight so you don't blow away. Alright. We're still going down the, what is the name of this trail? Is it Robbins? No. Hannah's Branch. Hannah's Creek Trail, and come along this rock formation. This looks like the old ruins of a fireplace, a chimney. I'm assuming there was a house here. It's a small area here on top of a knoll that's flattened out a little bit, and you can see some stones around. Look like maybe been used for foundation of a house or some point. A lot of people have been camping here. Kind of neat to see. We're going to head on down. A map showing that we should cross another creek before we come to the intersection of the Birkhead Mountain Trail. So that's where we're headed. Here, I'll just roll while we're hiking here. I'll try.
Downhill, might be a creek right down here.
Yeah, as much rain as we've had, there's got to be something.
Yeah.
All the mud we've seen.
Yep, there's a little something down there. It's small though. It's about like what we crossed back yonder.
It may not be the one then I saw on the map. The distance is about right though. This must be it. It's about 2 miles from that intersection. I think that's a little bit bigger than that last one though. One thing about it, there's plenty of good water on this trail. You don't have to, no shortage of water crossings. All kinds of pretty flowers and such along the way of this trail. I don't know if those are showing up or not. My wife loves purple and lavender. You probably like that. But anyway, not far from the sign that we've been looking for, right up here. Alright, let's see here. What do we have? Alright, so we come off the Robbins Branch Trailhead. Well, we come down a Hannah's Creek, Robbins Branch, then Hannah's Creek, but it does lead you back to Robbins Branch Trailhead. And now we've come to the intersection of the Birkhead Trail, Birkhead Mountain Trail and Tot Hill Trail. We're going to be heading to the left, which is north if I'm not mistaken.
Double check that.
Yeah, double check me. Yeah.
Yeah, northeast.
Yeah. So the idea is this trail loops around back into the actual Robbins Branch Trail, and but we're going to attempt to find somewhere between here and there to slide off somewhere and set up camp for the night. Sound good? Alrighty. Okay. After we come off of Hannah's Branch Trail and hit the Birkhead Mountain Trail, we come up about halfway to the Robbins Creek Trail, and we're going to go off trail and just bushwhack west to northwest and try to locate the creek, and then just follow that back to Hannah's Branch, and then make camp somewhere on Hannah's Branch. At least that's the plan. We'll see how it goes.
When you stop, just fall out.
Well, we made camp, and sure enough, Mother Nature unloaded on us. Got some rain coming down, thunderstorms in the area. Last time I checked the weather, though, they said it wasn't going to be too bad. It was just going to be a short front come through, and then everything clearing out around midnight. So hopefully we'll be okay. We just barely got camp made up and everything to where we could be dry, or semi-dry, I guess. But just hanging out in the hammocks. Literally. With the big tarps. Found out with these Eno hammocks, this is a single nest. Yeah, rocking the nasty feet. These single nests, like my son and I have, he has a 5 foot by 8 foot tarp, which we found out is not big enough to make a canopy over the tarp. And the one I have it's a little bit really too large. It is 9 foot by 12 foot.
8 by 10. So
we found out that an 8 foot by 10 foot would probably be ideal size, and maybe in the market for one. But I really like the tarps that he has, because they're cloth on one side and plastic on the other, and they're real soft feeling. You can lay on it like a blanket almost, and they don't rustle, you know, make a lot of noise and all. However, I can't find them any bigger. I guess we may have to just go with the old plastic tarps. But anyway, it gives us a pretty good section off dry, under the dry. Backpacks hanging in a tree with large trash bags over them. Gathered a little bit of firewood earlier in hopes that if the rain slacked off, we could get a little fire going tonight. And but what's yet to be seen. Got if I can spin around without falling out of the hammock here. Yeah, got the Redneck engineered water filtration system going, which is nothing more than a 2.5 gallon shower bladder with the hose run down to my MSR Mini Works and a platypus screwed onto it, and so it's just gravity feeding. And once you pump it a few times, the filter gets saturated. We've already filled that bladder, what, twice? Yeah, since like 3 o'clock, and it's now like 5:30 and 6 o'clock. Yeah, so I mean, in a few hours, even without any pumping, you can fill a couple of bladders up pretty easily, and it works good. We set that up before we even started on our tents or anything, so that it could be working while we're working, and it just works out great not to sit there and pump water. And you can fill that 2.5 gallon bladder up and just leave it be, and definitely by in the morning we'll have 2 bladders full again. And if we don't drink it all tonight, I'm pretty parched. Yeah. We hiked in, what, about,
I'd say 5 miles.
It's probably, I mean, according to the map, yeah, we got off the trail.
Backtracked, really.
And we hiked about 3.5, 4 miles on the trail, and then we just bushwhacked over to what we felt like would be a creek bottom, and just kept heading downhill, and the creek just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And if we follow this on out, according to my calculations, it should lead us back to Hannah's Creek, and then we could follow that Hannah's Creek back down to Hannah's Creek Trail, which is what we come in on. And so instead of doing a 10-mile loop all the way up to Robbins Branch Trail, which has hardly no water according to the map that we have, and we didn't really want to go up there if there's not much water around to filter and drink, because it's hot. It was 80 degrees today. It's supposed to be in the 70s tomorrow, and so we're going through the fluids pretty quick. And so we're going to cut it a little shorter, I guess. Maybe total, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 miles, something like that. I don't know exactly. We don't have a GPS with us to track it, but it's enough. I'm tired. When you're fat and out of shape, it's plenty. What do you think about that, big guy? Huh?
I think I'm tired.
I think I'm tired too. Well, that is the trash and a little bit of firewood. We've sheltered the storm. The rain's just stopped, still coming off the trees, but we're going to try to get a fire going before nightfall. Just about there, by the way. Water filter system's doing a wonderful job. Let me show you guys this. This thing is awesome. All I've got is just the cheapest camp shower I could find. I can't remember exactly what I paid for it. The only downside to this thing is to fill it, you have to actually take it off this, open the bag, pour the water in. It would be super if you had a cap that you could unscrew, just pour the water in, and you didn't have to actually unhook it from the tree. But anyway, it comes down. I have the tube running to a pre-filter, what I call a pre-filter. This is just a real cheesy filter that come out of a squeeze bottle that I think my wife had bought at Walmart. I never used it, but it works good for this because it pre-filters before my MSR Mini works, which is screwed directly onto the bladder. And we've got one about full, looks like, actually. So does a great job, just gravity feeding. Don't have to maintain it or anything. If it does get a little slow or airlock in it, you can pump it and get it going again. And I haven't removed, there's a diverter valve in there. Some guys said you need to take that out. I have never had to do that. If it is slow getting going, I'll just pump it a few times and maybe squeeze the top bag to get to get it flowing. But once that filter, ceramic filter, gets wet and gets saturated, it flows pretty well. So good deal. Got everything set up. We stayed dry barely under the tarps, backpacks hanging off the trees with large trash bags. Probably the greatest addition to any camper is go get you some 55-gallon black heavy-duty trash bags. They are a poncho, they are a backpack cover, they are a seat if you want to stay off the ground a little bit. Just so many uses. And lightweight, cheap. You can buy a whole pack of them things for, I don't know, $10 or something like that, and you'll have enough to last you probably a lifetime. But anyway, we're going to try to get a fire going for a little bit, enjoy some coffee. I just brewed some coffee and hot cocoa. And going to sip on the coffee, sit by the campfire, and say goodbye to this day. Okay, just got a little fire going. Camp still set up. Everything weathered the storm okay. And just had some coffee and hot chocolate. And just gathered a little bit of firewood, not much. Not going to try to keep the fire going all night, just for a little while, just till bedtime, I guess. But all in all, pretty good day, just tiring. Amen.
Yeah.
Very tiring.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. That's your spotlight.
Yeah. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah.
Alright, camping in Uwharrie on the Hannis Creek branch. Actually, not creek, I think.
Off of it.
Yeah, we're not on the creek yet, we're still on the branch.